It is Monday night, and you know what that means. It's SNL Formula X Season 4, and we're here round 9. Interlagos, whilst most of you are getting to grips with GT7 and all the joys of learning a new game, we are still celebrating GT Sport with our final 2 rounds coming very soon. Good evening, Matt Psycho, already in the chat waving on the screen. So without further ado, let's have a look at this grid. This is the Formula X grid, and it is based on the reverse of the previous 3 results for the drivers. In pole position is Rob on drums in his McLaren. Second is Yokas in his Red Bull. Third place is Yolo in the Aston Martin. Fourth place, a very high position for Intulu. Some poor results recently sees him as high as 4th on the grid. Fifth place is Noxie in the Williams. 6th is Cinemod in the Sauber. In 7th place we have got Bunnies also in the Sauber. And in 8th place, taking the place of Illusion, who is not racing these final 2 rounds, clearly has better things to do, is Alpha Capri, friend of Intulu. So 2 Portuguese drivers for Flashman. In 9th place, the impressive Tiny Terror, his debut season in Formula X, his debut season in SNL, and he has shown some good pace. In 10th place is SNL Jam, getting back his season after a poor start. In 11th place is his teammate, Cool Duboy, in the Mercedes. 12th place is the current champion, Matt Psycho, for McLaren. Very high up for his standards. In 13th place is SNL Daz in the Red Bull, on great form and looked good last time out before his disconnection. In 14th is Paleshi after a couple of second places recently. And in 15th place is Wolfbane in the Aston Martin. There is no Junior, as he could not make it and was a late pull-out, so Jim was unable to get a replacement in at Williams. So that is your grid of 15. 15 cars still on an old game. There you go. That is the strength at SNL. There is a tyre war in Formula X. There are Michelin runners and there are Bridgestone runners. The Bridgestone runners are Williams, Ferrari, Alpine, and Aston Martin. There we go, I've finally found it. There wasn't a pause there in your information. And they are running the super softs and the hards, although you can see Intulu is on the softs, and that will mean he's on a 30-second penalty to start this race straight away. The Michelin runners are McLaren, Mercedes, Red Bull and Sauber, and they're on the super softs and the medium. So you can see a hard runner, Alpha Capri, on the hards. Everybody else, Paleshi on the hards, everybody else on super softs apart from Intulu, who's on those softs. It's the host that they come from, says Matt Psycho. Okay, so without further ado, let's get this race underway. Welcome everybody that is watching. 10 people currently watching us live as well. So leave a like, comment in the comments section, like, subscribe, share this all out. Here we go then. Interlagos, 42 laps here in the Super Formula cars in Formula X season number 4, the penultimate round. We've got Illusion leading the championship, but he's no longer here. Wolfbane looking very strong as we get going, and it's a good start from Yokas, in fact, going into turn 1, but Rob on drums already on the power. Yolo going a little bit deep into turn 1 though. Yokas in 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. Noxie dropping back a little bit. Cool Duboy up into 7th place already from 11th on the grid, up into 6th. A great start from Cool Duboy. We might be able to see it from his point of view then as we go on board. I don't know why I did that. So he just dives down the middle, and actually it all opens up for him very nicely, and he gets himself up into 6th place. as a result of all of this. So great start from him. Let's go through the field. Noxie then is fighting him hard, going into turn number 4. This is very tight. Noxie though getting pushed out wide actually. A little bit wide. So Cinnamon has a chance against Noxie. In the Williams, Cinnamon getting past in fact. There's a bit of punching happening. So 8th place is Jam now. A little bit of touching happening in the field section. Wolfbane already up into 10th place in his Aston Martin. There's yellow flags waving. What has happened behind? Something possibly has happened as we go off board then. Wolfbane up the inside of Noxie, but in the lead for McLaren is Rob on drums, the American driver, the first Porsche Cup winner in Season 1. He's got the pressure though from YOLO. These two have fought so much in the SNL history. They're fighting again as Rob on drums, I thought, ran wide, but then Bunny opportunity to pass YOLO, and in fact he does, out of the chicane. So the ZRS. Cool 2 Boy is up into 4th place. What a start from the Mercedes driver. Jam has gone up the inside of Intulu, so let's have a look then. So the Mercedes driver's looking very strong. So Jam goes up the inside. There's a touch between the two. So Jam has then got Intulu on the inside. He actually lifts off a little bit, maybe letting Intulu back past. Intulu into 8th place, but then Jam up the inside again. It's a good fight happening here. We've got Noxie. He's got on board with Noxie. He's being attacked by Tiny Terror. And we've got Matt Psycho. Tiny Terror going round the outside of everybody. What's going on up ahead though? I think Cinnamod's gone off. What on earth has happened there? So Cinnamod in 5th. Ooh. Let's go. Oh, we've gone too far back now. Apologies, dear viewer. So Cinnamod in the Salvo. He's got Cool Boy ahead of him. He's got Daz in 6th behind. As they go into the infield section. Cool Boy runs a bit wide, but he's actually got some good speed as we see Bunny's attacking YOLO. So there is Cinnamod. Oh, and there's a touch. And then Cinnamod's gone off. So oh, and he's been reset as well. So disaster for the Salva driver. His teammate though in 2nd place, Bunny's. He's got YOLO behind him. 4th place is Cool Boy. Cork in the bottle right now because Daz is in 5th, looking very strong, using the overtake as well as the Red Bull driver. They've got Wolfbane catching them though. Wolfbane looking very strong, going 3 wide down the home straight. Oh, a little bit of touching possibly. So we see then Intulu and Jam having a fight. So Jam fighting with Noxie in the background. There he is. Noxie is in that Williams. He's got a chance at attacking Jam. Going up the inside of turn 4. Good camera angle. And does the move. And in fact, Matt Psycho moves himself up into 9th place and is attacking Noxie. Going round the outside. It's a brave move round the outside here. If Matt Psycho can do it though, it will be fantastic into the infield section. Noxie's still holding the line, but Matt Psycho then has the inside line, and in fact Noxie's gone off. What happened there for Noxie? To go on board with Noxie then on board. He has Matt Psycho there on his inside. I don't know what happened there. Noxie is in 11th place. Matt Psycho in 8th place. More spam. Oh, yes, we've got more spam in the chat. Got bunnies though. He's got a good run on Rob on drums. Can the Salva driver take the lead? Oh, he just hits the wall, I think. Going down into turn 1, he takes the lead from the McLaren driver. The super soft tyres working nicely on the Sauber. Rob on drums in second, YOLO in third. Fourth place is his teammate. So we have formation flying for Aston Martin. YOLO actually defends, actually backs out. He backs out too much though because he lets Daz through. Daz has the opportunistic move. Gets himself up into fourth in that Red Bull. He looked strong at Spa before he had an unfortunate disconnect. He's got the race winner from Spa. Wolfbane is on a run of 2 race wins in that Aston Martin. Fully charged Aston now. They've got all their upgrades sorted out. But Daz is looking very racy. Behind him, oh, a little bit of a touch between Wolfbane and Rob. Rob on drums proving to be a little bit of a cork right now. SNL, Wolfbane gets past and Daz gets through as well. Rob in 4th place then. There is Cool Duboy getting himself up into 4th. As we see then, Rob and YOLO. YOLO looking racy in 6th place, in 5th place in fact, as it says, as it crosses the line and gets up the inside into the Centre S. But runs deep, and that means Intulu. Fantastic for Intulu. Let's go on board with the Portuguese driver. We can see Rob on drums on the outside, YOLO on the inside. Rob one's married, so does YOLO, and that means a great chance for Intulu. In fact, he's got a very good opportunity of getting past Cool Duboy. Matt Psycho up into 6th as well, so Matt Psycho up into 6th. But Intulu in the Ferrari looking very racy, but he's on the wrong tyres. So he will be receiving a 30-second penalty at some point. It's on the wrong tyres for those. Matt Psycho in 6th. 7th place is YOLO. 8th is Jam. And 9th is Tiny Terror. And Rob on drums is now down into 10th place. 11th is Noxie. 12th is Paleshi, who's got Cinemod. 14th is Yokas. And 15th is Alpha Capri. Well, Gazman will be looking at this in dismay. Both Ferraris have gone onto the wrong tyre. They're on the softs. The softs are not the regulation tyre. Super softs and hards for the Bridgestone runners. It's super soft and mediums for the Michelin runners. There's a 30-second penalty for Alpha Capri as well. Unless the stewards see something different, but that's what I can see on the replay. So Bunny's leading for Sauber. Now Wolfbane in second. 1:17.2 for him compared to an 18.7 for Bunny's. Wolfbane just showing the speed of that Aston Martin. 17.9 though from Daz. As we then look in the background, Cool Duboy, who's got Intulu's past him. Matt Psycho is there in the McLaren. So Matt Psycho looking at the back of the Mercedes. Matt Psycho really has to make hay whilst the sun shines, and yes he does. He gets himself up into 5th place, and we'll have to keep that Ferrari up ahead of him as well. He'll keep Intulu in his sights. So Intulu again on the wrong tyres. Matt Psycho in 5th. Cool Duboy is there in 6th place. Jam in 7th, still running the Ukrainian flag. Inspired helmet. 8th place is Tiny Terror in the Alpine. 9th, YOLO. 10th, Rob on drums, who's got Noxie there. Noxie has stayed in 11th place. I don't know how Noxie stayed in 11th, but he has. And he's just keeping in the slipstream of Rob on drums as they come down the home straight. The Williams driver, the only Williams in this race, as Junior just not here, it would seem, but Noxie gets himself up into 10th and then he gets himself into 9th. Oh, a little bit of touching going on. Oh, and Wolfbane has taken the lead. What has happened there? I've missed this. Oh, I've missed this a long time ago. What happened? I've gone back further than I ever go. I think Bunnies has lost the lead quite a bit, so we'll go back. There we go. So Wolfbane now leads this race. Daz into 2nd place with Bunnies in 3rd. Let's go on board with Bunnies. Looking into the Centre S's but cannot make the move because Daz is ahead of him now. So Daz on an 18.0, so roughly the same time as Wolfbane. I can confirm I overtook Bunnies, says Wolfbane. 4th in Tulu then, 5th is Matt Psycho, 6th and 7th place. So the Mercedes are fighting each other. Jam overtaking Cool Dude Boy. Maybe look away, Rob on drums. Endurance Nuts. So Jam overtaking Cool Dude Boy. So Cool Dude Boy falling back a little bit now. After initial good start, Tiny Terror in 8th place, having a little look at Cool Dude Boy. 9th place is Noxie, 10th is YOLO. Up front is Wolfbane after his amazing pass around the outside of turn number 7 on the previous lap. I don't know what happened, to be honest, dear viewer, you missed it because of the poor direction of your host. And Wolfbane leading the race. 2nd place Daz in the Red Bull, keeping him honest. Wolfbane is not going to have this race all his own way, although Wolfbane trying to set purples. He does dive down. He's 17.9, 17.8 in fact by Daz, so Daz is lapping quicker. So on lap 8 we've seen one pit stop, which was Alpha Capri in the Ferrari going away from the hard tyres. Got Matt Psycho has got Intulu for company, so I think Matt Psycho has overtaken Intulu as well. Let's try and see. Let's try and get some overtaking. So there is Intulu in 4th place. Matt Psycho on the overtake button. You can see the red light flashing as he goes into turn 1 and he makes the move stick brilliantly through the Senna S's. The McLaren driver emulating Ayrton Senna, driving well for the British mark against Ferrari. The old foes fighting hard. Jam in 6th place. 7th is Tiny Terror. 8th is Cool Dude Boy. 9th is Noxie and 10th is Cinnamod. 11th Rob on drums. 12th is Paleshi, still on the hard tyres, so he's going long, it would seem, on these hards. Yokas has got the Super Sauce on. Alpha Capri is in 14th on the wrong tyres, as I say, and then coming out onto the hards goes YOLO. So YOLO had a strong start, he's now gone onto the hard tyres as his teammate leads the race. Coming up the hill. And of course the pink and black Aston Martin, well, in real life BWT have gone to Alpine, so this might be a one-season wonder for this black and pink car. All the teams run classic liveries, or liveries in real life really, apart from Aston Martin and Alpine, who have a limited number of liveries that they can run. So this has been designed by their team principal Pat. Each team has team principals. There are upgrades throughout the season. We are coming to the end of the season though. Daz in 2nd place. Shame, I really like this Aston Martin livery, says Wolfbane. Daz in that special Japanese Grand Prix edition Red Bull that unfortunately couldn't go to Suzuka due to obvious reasons. Ended up going to Turkey. Bunnies has got the attentions of a Psycho behind him. Matt Psycho, to be specific on the Psycho in question. Here he comes up the hill out of Young Cow and on board with Matt Psycho. His pit lane is so fast as he comes through. He's going to make the move stick. It's not a good at camera angle as the overtake then happens. Matt Psycho then in 3rd. 4th place is Bunnies, now under pressure from Intulu, who's got the overtake. Let's go on board with the Ferrari driver. Big brave move going into turn 4. But Intulu won't think twice about it if he's given the opportunity. Back on board with the Ferrari as we attack the Sauber. Oh, very close to each other. Both cars. Bunnies runs wide though. Intulu has a chance. Can he get round the outside? No, Bunnies forces him wide. But then Bunnies runs wide. Back on board with the Ferrari. As there goes Bunnies. Oh, Bunnies is still there on the outside. On the inside now. So then Intulu up the inside going to Young Cow. Yes, he's got the move done. Great fight there between the two. So Intulu in 4th place now with 4th Ferrari. Bunnies in 5th. Then you can see the difference in the tyres. There is Jam in 6th. He's got the Cool Dubois, his teammate, behind him. So the Mercedes duo 6th and 7th. There they go. Through the centre S's. Endurance not enjoying that, I'm sure. 8th place, Tiny Terror. Keeping them honest. 9th is Cinnamod. And 10th is Noxy, but leading this race. It's just pulling away from Daz a little bit. 17.9 on lap 9 compared to an 18.8 by Daz. So Daz dropping back by a second. Probably a 2-second lead as Wolfbane. That's Psycho though in 3rd place. Making sure they know. 17.6 by Matt Psycho. So that is quick. Definitely showing them what can be done in this McLaren. They've brought upgrades. Majority of the teams have brought upgrades here for the final round. Mercedes did not though. So no upgrade from Mercedes. And those that could bring upgrades have done. So Aston Martin and Alpine cannot bring upgrades to their cars. They're as fast as they can go. Everybody knows that now. Daz in the Red Bull. So Matt Psycho's still catching up Daz. So the field is starting to spread out a bit. I say that, and then we look behind, and we have Tiny Terror giving the Mercedes drivers a little bit of hassle. Have a look, Tiny Terror in the Alpine, attacking those two Mercedes. Aston are paying Merc more than McLaren. Oh, and there's a little clash between the two teammates. Let's maybe just have a little look. See, so Cool Dubois in 7th place, Jam in 6th. So Jam runs a little bit wide. There's a touch there, and then Cool Dubois just running wide on the exit. So Jam in 6th. Tiny now going to try and attack Jam. Super soft tyres on Tiny, looking a bit worn at the front. What's Patrick Tambay doing? Similar. They're all similar with this group. Matt Psycho, there you go. Looking very nice on those super softs. Intulu into the pits with his soft tyres, so they're not regulation. That's not going to go down well. But up front, Wolfbane on lap number 13. So we're 13 laps on the super softs. We've seen drivers in the past, in the previous generation of car, go long here as well on the tyres. It's not really a fuel limited circuit, it's more of a tyre limited circuit. Daz feeling the pressure though from Matt Psycho, using the overtake button. Matt has already used quarters of his overtake. Team SCT on the back of Matt Psycho's car. Oh, Daz has made a mistake! And Matt Psycho, well, that was easy for Matt Psycho. Daz is not going to like the look of this. So Daz in the Red Bull, just runs a bit deep, I think. Yes, he does. He gets onto the marbles as well and gets onto the curb and then just gets a slow exit. His tyres are looking pretty good though. So his tyres looking strong, but he just ran wide. Lost the time. Drops down into 3rd place in his Red Bull. 4th is Bunnies. Matt Psycho said he remembered the overtake button this time. Tiny Terror has got ahead of Jam. So Tiny Terror in the Alpine has got ahead of both of the Mercedes. But Jam is there. Having a look. Jam going up the inside into the centre S, and he does make the move. So there we have Jam in 5th. 6th place then Tiny Terror, who's got a flashing blinking light. As Tiny Terror then gets past Jam again. So the Mercedes drivers having a fight again. Close your eyes, Endurance Nut. It's the nice move, says Matt Psycho. So these Mercedes currently fighting. There's Cool Dude Boy. Oh, bashes into Jam. A little bit of a clash between the two. Jam now in 6th with Cool Dude Boy there in 7th. They are having a fight between themselves. Endurance Nut might be saying stop fighting each other and fight the Alpine. Wolfbane in 1st place. Matt Psycho is up into 2nd place. We saw that already. I'm getting excited. Oh no, it's because Bunnies has pitted. Bunnies has pitted. And Tiny Terror has pitted as well. So Wolfbane got 118.2. Matt Psycho 118.5. Matt Psycho has more fuel, less fuel in his tank. Daz is also going to pit this lap. Here are the 2 Mercedes drivers, 4th and 5th, going down into turn 4. So 5th place is Cool Dude Boy. There is his teammate ahead of him. And Jam has a bit more fuel than his teammate, but Wolfbane will be coming in this lap. No team orders in Mercedes, says Matt Psycho. No, there are not. And Bunnies has come out of the pits on medium tyres. So Wolfbane in the pits now. Super sauce for him. Matt Psycho will be coming into the pits as well. In he comes. Daz in the pits. So what are Mercedes going to do? With Jam and Cool Dude Boy. So Jam's fuel is flashing, so is Cool Dude Boys. Jam's right rear not as worn, and we have the Mercedes 1-2 in Formula X. We can't say that very often. In fact, we've not said that at all, I don't think, in Formula X. So there we have it. There are the Mercedes, 1st and 2nd here in Brazil. So on board with the 2nd place car of Cool Dude Boy. Jam leads his teammate. Those 2 Mercedes haven't pitted though, so they're out of sync with everybody else. And Tulu has pitted. He's on the hards and he'll be pitting probably at the end of this lap, getting rid of those hard tyres. He's done a 119.1 on them, so that's not bad at all. He pitted on lap number 12. So he's definitely been in a good position. Let's see the relative position of Wolfbane and Matt Psycho. So it's about 6 seconds between them. So Jam pulling away a little bit from his teammate. Not quite on a fast lap, a bit deep into the final corner. So pulling Cool Dude Boy along. So there are the Mercedes, 1st and 2nd. They come into the pits together. That's the good thing about GT Sport. You do not have to wait for your teammate to do a pit stop. You can pit at the same time. In Tulu into the pits then. and Wolfbane will retake the lead. So Wolfbane leads the race. 19.6, he's on the hards. Matt Psycho is on the super softs. Now this is going to be interesting because the two cars behind Wolfbane are on super softs. Wolfbane is on the hard tyre. This is the unfortunate thing for the Bridgestone runners. They've got the hard tyre here. As Cool Dude Boy Boy's on the hards. He's gone on the hard tyre, and that isn't the tyre for Mercedes. They're Michelin runners, so the super soft and the Michelin and the medium, sorry. As Cool Dude Boy realised his error, he's not fueled it up as heavy. Tiny Terror's on the hards because he's a Bridgestone runner. Jam is on the super softs. Oh, and Tulu's back on the softs. That's awkward now. He's gone on the softs twice. Paleshi on the super softs. Cinemod is on the mediums. YOLO is on the hards. Noxy is in 13th place. 14th place is Rob on drums. We have lost Yokas. So Yokas has disappeared. So Wolfbane. Oh, that gap is definitely dropping. 17.7 from Matt Psycho and 19.2. 1.5 second gap. Matt Psycho saying that Wolfbane is on the hards. Cool Dude Boy in the pits again. So is Alpha Capri, who's on the on those softs. We'll have to see what happens in the steward's room with these tyre infringements. But Wolfbane is a sitting duck, is he? Matt Psycho is just closing down the Aston Martin driver. There's not much the Aston Martin driver can do. Both of these drivers, the only drivers to win in Aston Martin colours as well. So Pat will be looking at this, seeing his former driver chasing down the man he hopes will bring the championship to Aston Martin. Aston Martin have not won a Drivers' Championship. Matt Psycho, though, all over the back of Wolfbane. Wolfbane has no answer. Matt Psycho using the overtake button and takes the lead going into turn 1. Fantastic for Matt Psycho. He leads this race. Wolfbane attacking the Senna S's as hard as he dare. That's Psycho running a little bit wider. Well, Daz has had a poor lap, a 1:22.9. I was going to say, where is Daz? He's done a 1:22.9. There's little point fighting it, says Wolfbane. 4th place is Bunnies. And sort of on his own, really. Jam about 7 seconds down the road. As we can see in the background, Intulu has got the attention of Tiny Terror. Tiny Terror is having... Oh! Intulu moving very late. Going into turn 4. Very late indeed. Let's see if we can just see that. There we have it. So there's the movement. So Tiny Terror having a fight with the Portuguese driver. What do we always say about Alpines? They're always together. 8th place is Paleshi. There he is. They're always together, those two Alpines. Mika will be happy to see the consistency between her drivers. But 7th and 8th, for them, maybe a little bit lower than she might expect. The team principal of Alpine. 9th place is Cinemod. Managed to get back into the race. 10th place, Cool Dude Boy, so he's now on the medium tyres. So, maybe fixing the error of his ways. And trying to chase down Cinemod. In fact, gets past Cinemod, who made a slight error running wide. YOLO in 11th on those hards. 12th, soft tyres. Alpha Capri. So both Ferrari drivers have used soft tyres twice. Gazman in his villa. He's upgraded it. Apparently, he's now in a Swiss mansion. He's moved out of Scotland. He's left his roots, and he's living the high life, because Ferrari really are on the brink of the team's championship in Formula X for season 4. There is Noxie in 13th place, and Rob on drums. Teammate there in 14th, and Matt Psycho leads this race. And he's pulling away from Wolfbane. Wolfbane in the 120s. Matt Psycho consistently in the 117s. I say that, he does a 118.8, so he proves me wrong. And he's in the comments now saying 24 qualifying laps now. Well, okay. An 18.8 for Matt Psycho. A 19.4 for Daz. An 18.8 for Daz in that Red Bull. You can see the field has spread out quite a bit now. 4th place is Bunnies. So he's about 7 seconds behind Daz. And he's about 6 seconds ahead of Jam, who's about 5 seconds ahead of Intulu. So 18.3 by Jam on his previous lap. 17.9 by Intulu. Intulu is setting some fast laps. Looking very strong. 17.764 on lap 17, and exactly the same time on lap 18. So Intulu looking strong. Tiny Terror. There he is in 7th place on those hard tyres. Trying to use them, get rid of them. There is his teammate. It's his teammate actually not lapping too much quicker than him, despite the tyre advantage. Oh, we've got Cinemod going off slightly in the background. I don't know what happened there for Cinemod. Let's go and have a look. Just runs a little bit wide, I think. Yes. Maybe a bit of the dirty air from the Mercedes in front of him. Cool Dude Boy in 9th. There is the Sauber. Matt Psycho on his qualifying runs then. Attacking for McLaren. The current team champions. They signed the current champion, current drivers champion. They split their dream team of Wolfbane and Daz, and look where that team is. Wolfbane in 2nd, Daz in 3rd. It is a driver auction, and GT87 Tiger took over the team principal role and signed the champion, Matt Psycho. But there is Wolfbane. He's looking strong. But there is Daz as well, so Daz isn't far behind. Matt Psycho saying he's having to build a gap for the tyre switch, because he's got to run the medium tyres. He's run super softs and super softs. He's got just over half a tank of fuel. So he pitted on lap 15. There is Wolfbane on the hards. He's got half a tank. Daz has half a tank, so they're probably all going to pit about the same lap. Bunny's a little bit lighter than those ahead of him. On the mediums, he's lighter than Jam. He's on the super softs, but Jam using those super softs very delicately. And Tulu had a very quick pit stop, so I don't think he fueled up as much as Jam. Well, Jam had a very slow outlap. 2:01 from Jam. I think Jam's was just a slow outlap. No, 2 minutes there for Daz. I think Jam was just slow. 2 minutes 01.1, so bad lap there actually. As in Tulu is catching 17.6. compared to Jam's 19.0, so Jam, I don't know what Jam's playing at, but it's clearly going slowly. Tiny Terror there in 7th. We have to build a gap for the tyre switch, says Matsai. Paleshi catching his teammate, 19-0, so he's catching him about a second a lap. So those Alpines are close, as usual, as we've seen this season. Back in the French colours after a season in black in Season 3. Cool Dubois in 9th, Cinnamod in 10th. Alpha Capri's first race in Formula X's first race with SNL as well. It's a friend of Intulu. We'll be hoping his next outing won't be as eventful. That Psycho leads this race. Wolfbane has been overtaken by Daz now. So where has Daz overtaken Wolfbane? He's done it in the middle sector. It's a brave move actually, up the inside. There he goes. There goes Daz up into third. So Wolfbane really can't do much about Daz. Daz up into second place for Red Bull. Flashman, the team principal of Red Bull, after his move away from Williams, sees his driver take second place. Daz has won a race this season. All three of the drivers at the top of the field on this podium have won races this season. Matt Psycho won at Blue Moon Bay, Daz won at the Nordschleife, and Wolfbane has won at Monza and Spa. Pressed the wrong button. On board with Wolfbane, he's got a good attack. Can he get up the inside of Daz? He actually decides to do a little bump drafting. And we go into the Senna S's. And Daz has red on his halo, on the roll bar. So he has got less than 25% of his overtake button. Intulu has gone up the inside of Jam. We saw it moving on the ticker. So Intulu has closed up Jam. Mercedes against Ferrari. Intulu goes up the inside. He gets past Jam. And those Bridgestone tyres looking very good. Jam though, having a look at Intulu. Trying to go around the outside. It's a brave move. Intulu shows him the outside of the circuit. Jam says, no, I'll just decide I'll stay here for a bit then. Paleshi has got past his teammate. So was it along the straight into turn 1? It was. A tiny terror showing there's no team orders as well at Alpine. Defends the position, but then lets Paleshi go. Evening all. Go Matt, says Mama Sykes. Well, Mama Sykes, your little boy is leading this race. He's just overtaken his teammate, Rob on drums, who's in 13th place. So Matt Psycho coming through the traffic now. He leads for McLaren. Dust kicking up by Noxie ahead. What's the gap then? We'll see what the gap is as Daz crosses the line. It's about 9 seconds between Daz and Matt Psycho. Wolfbane is about a second behind Daz, so Wolfbane looking strong in this Aston Martin. He's still on the hard tyres. 4th place is Bunnies. Quiet race for him in the Sauber. Sort of on his own. He's got Intulu catching him though. 19-4 for Bunnies and 18-3 by Intulu, 19-3 by Jam. So those super softs starting to fade away now, possibly. Seventh place Paleshi in the Alpine. He's got less than 25% of his overtake button left, as you can see by the red lights above his head. Whilst his teammate just over half, so he'll have a green light. There is the green light. Red light. Green light. How many months behind are we with that? I think we've not had a mention of that show. Do you remember when that was a thing? Everyone was going red light, green light. Alpha Capri, his debut, as we say, is in Illusion's car. It even has Illusion's number. That's how late this change happened. The team at the Scuderia were unable to take the number off and change it. Alpha Capri, you'll have to tell us what number you wish to race under. It's all in the driver numbers in the Discord. Although I think that number 2 Ferrari might be available for the next round as well. Matt Psycho leading the race. He's quite happy. On the super soft tyres, he's pulled away, he's making a gap, although I think Daz has maybe closed up in this lap. Daz has less than 25% of his overtake left, but Wolfbane has quite a lot of his, 3/4 of his overtake left, so he's saving that up, I think, to have a run. Our Ferrari collapsing under the pressure, says Matt Psycho. Well, considering where they are in the championship, basically Mercedes needed a 1-2 in the last 2 rounds to take the championship off them, so I don't see that happening. In Tulu, though, is attacking Bunny's. Bunny's nose in Tulu's there. Have the Scuderia just done what the Scuderia normally do and just internally combust? As up the inside then goes in Tulu. Can he make the move on Bunnies? Yes, he can. Lovely move. Wolfbane 10 clearly were too much for them. Well, yes, I think Illusion will be sat, if he is watching this, probably not, thinking, well, I've thrown this championship away. I had a good chance at this, and all of a sudden I'm not defending a position, I'm not coming to race, which I do not understand, but there we go. Into the pits then comes Cool Dude Boy, so those medium tyres are off. He comes into the pits now, and Paleshi is there too. So Paleshi on the super softs. Matt Psycho coming through to lap them. Matt Psycho looking strong. He's still got about 1/4 of a tank of fuel left, so he's got a fair bit. Wolfbane in the pits then. In comes the Aston Martin driver. Daz in second. Still got a fair amount of fuel as well. And Tulu gets the Ferrari up into 3rd place. But mistakes at Ferrari, unfortunately, are going to cost him a lot here. He's had 2 runs on the softs. It's hard to tell where he'll finish after all the penalties. Jam in 4th place. So those super softs now, you can see the fronts are starting to say we've had enough, but Jam's still got a 1/4 of a tank of fuel. Bunny's in the pits, filling up, as everybody else is starting to come in as well. So in comes Tiny Terror and Cinnamon. Tiny Terror's getting some fuel and some tyres. Alpha Capri gets himself up into 6th place then. So actually, quite a few drivers popping up in and about. There is our virtual 3rd place driver. He's now on the super softs. This is where he has to absolutely fly. Matt Psycho goes for another lap though. On his Michelin shod McLaren. Into the pits comes in Tulu. The alarm flashing, ringing as Jam goes up into 3rd place. So Jam coming through the centre S's. There is Daz in the Red Bull. Daz will be coming in this lap. He's just overtaken Tiny Terror, who is in 8th place. Wowzers. 8th, 9th and 10th all together. Oh, Daz having issues though. Daz having issues with these Alpines. So what happened to Daz there? Let's have a look. Is it just this corner? Daz just not enjoying it? Because we saw earlier he made a mistake here. I think it's happened again. He's gone out onto the curb where he doesn't want to be, and then he's got the Alpines coming across him. On board with Cool Dude Boy. He will have a go at Paleshi. He does. Matt Psycho is in the pits. Daz surely coming into the pits, as we see there. Cool Dude Boy having a fight with the Alpines. He sets his best lap of the race, but he's just got Paleshi on the outside of him, but he keeps it there and has got the 9th position back. It's close racing, says Mama Sykes. As Jam takes the lead from Mercedes. So back in the lead again, but out of sequence with everybody else. Matt Psycho coming actually out of the pits. So where is Wolfbane? This is important. Matt Psycho comes out in 2nd place. Jam coming through turn 4. Matt Psycho goes into turn 4. So Jam leads this race on the road, but driving out of sequence with those he's with. A 155 for Matt Psycho, so he's not filled up, he's on the mediums, whilst Wolfbane is on the super softs. Now the hunter versus the hunted, whilst the hunt leads. There we go. That works out nicely. All the hunts all in a row. I said hunts with a H. Definitely a H. So, Jam leading this race. Matt Psycho is 2nd place. 3rd is Wolfbane. So the hunter has become the hunted. What can we do? Daz in 4th. He's running wide a little bit there as well. He doesn't want to do that much. Jam going another lap. So Jam going another lap on those super softs, doing 120s. In comparison to Matt Psycho's 118.8. So Jam now going quite slow on those supers. Probably should have pitted this lap, but there we go. Hindsight's a wonderful thing. Daz in 4th, 5th place in Tulu. On his own really now. Just pulled away from Bunnies. Bunnies having a bit of an issue with Rob on drums. 7th place is Cool Dude Boy. It's got those Alpines. 8th and 9th. What is it? They're normally always together. Well, there they are, Mika. 8th and 9th again. Your boys. Closely matched. As always, Cinnamod in 10th place. YOLO in 11th. 12th is Alpha Capri. 13th is Noxie. He's got Daz overtaking him. And 14th is Rob on drums. So Matt Psycho closing up to Jam, but Jam then pits. So Jam doing his final stop of this race. Matt Psycho in the pits. So he's on the medium tyres. Wolfbane in 2nd, a 1:16.7 from Wolfbane. He's lapping 2 seconds quicker than Matt Psycho, and the gap is about 8 seconds. Oh boy, this is going to be close in a few laps time. Daz in 3rd place for Red Bull, looking strong. He's on mediums as well though. And Tulu is on softs. I don't know how many times in Tulu's been on these soft tyres, because that is not the tyre that they should be on. We've not had this before in Formula X. We've not had a driver use the wrong tyre more than once in a race. Ferrari have, well, both Ferraris have just gone wrong here. using the soft tyre instead of the supers. Bunny's in 5th place, so that probably will be a 4th place. Oh, Jam has got Rob on drums ahead of him. So, yeah, Jam at 1:54.6, so he's on the mediums as well. And there is his teammate Cool Duboy in 7th place, with Paleshi and Tiny Terror following closely in those Alpines. But let's have a look at the hunt at the front. 42, 43, so there we go again, a 17.1 compared to an 18.6, so not as big a jump, but 1.4 seconds between Matt Psycho and Wolfbane. Tiny Terror, I think, so closed on Paleshi. Paleshi, though, keeping it on the outside. Both of these Alpines, they are fighting. They really are fighting with each other, which I'm sure Cool Duboy will be very happy about, because the more they fight with each other, the more Cool Duboy can run away. Oh, maybe a little bit of a glitch there from Paleshi and Tiny Terror. Let's go back to this race at the front. There's Matt Psycho passing us by. There is Wolfbane in 2nd place. That Aston Martin looking strong, as we see Daz in 3rd. 18s on mediums couldn't do any more. That's like 18s on mediums, a fantastic pace. I like the fact that you pick yourself up, Matt, as well. But it is fantastic pace on 18s on mediums. You're going quicker than most people have been going on the super softs. That's why you're the champion. Championship drive from Matt Psycho. He knows it is a difficult task, but he is still pushing. If he can keep himself in contention for Suzuka, you never know what will happen in Suzuka. Damn right, was 110%. 17.3 from Wolfbane, 18.4 from Matt Psycho, so it's about a second. But what is it they say? Catching is one thing, passing is another. Wolfbane has got to get past the champion. And all those wins as well. Matt Psycho, the most winningest driver in Formula X. He's got 12 of them. 12 victories. He's only had one this season. He'll be looking for more. Wolfbane, only 3 victories in Formula X for him, but 2 this season, 2 on the bounce. He's the man on form. He has the fastest lap of a 16.7. This was the fight I've been waiting for the past 2.5 seasons, says Wolfbane. He's always wanted to fight Matt Psycho. And he's got his chance. Here comes Daz. Daz has fallen back a little bit now. It's about 18 seconds behind Wolfbane. And Tulu is there. And Tulu is catching. Me too, says Matt Psycho. We could be in for an epic fight then. It's a shame the season's about to end. And Tulu in 4th. 5th is Bunnies. He's doing 18.6s. Jam on his mediums. 18.8s. Cool Duboy 19.1 on his last lap, so these super softs just dying out towards the end of their stints. Paleshi in 8th, Tiny Terror in 9th. Cinemod is in 10th place. Alpha Capri in 11th. Has he got Matt Psycho behind him? Yes, he has. Great stuff, says Mama Sykes. So the gap between the two. Ooh, I think Matt Psycho may have pulled it out a little bit. The last lap wasn't too much quicker actually from Wolfbane, only 4 tenths. 18.4 by Matt Psycho. Oh, 17.7. So, yeah, so the gap has reduced in the amount that is falling, but it is still falling. We have got 5 laps to go. Praying Wolf tyres drop off before he gets to me, says Matt Psycho. There is Daz. 18.2s from Daz on mediums as well, so Daz is flying along. There's a Ferrari in the way though from Matt Psycho, so Matt Psycho hoping to get past this Ferrari. Yes, he gets by. Can we see Wolfbane on the longer shots? There he is, sliding the car through this central section. So Matt Psycho's always been strong around this bit of the circuit. As Wolfbane sliding the back end in Valentino Rossi style. Sliding the back end, backing it into the corners. He's absolutely flying. 17.7 on the last lap compared to Matt Psycho's 18.4. Let's go on board with Wolfbane. You can see Matt Psycho. It's not the car in front, that is the Ferrari of Alpha Capri, who's been lapped. Hopefully Alpha gets out of the way here. Okay, I thought he would do. He's just holding station a little bit. There we go, get out the way surely now. But Wolfbane says, I don't care, I'm going past. And he does. The gap now, less than 2 seconds. Oh, this is tension. This is for the win here at Interlagos. Traffic was a problem, says Matt Psycho. Back to my sliding ways. You're not wrong. Daz in 3rd place. In Tulu there as well, so this is also turning into a nice little on-track battle, but in Tulu, unfortunately, with the penalties, it's going to drop down. Bunny's in 5th, Jar in 6th, not really catching. Well, he is catching a little bit, but not enough to make much of a difference. About 6 seconds, the gap between those two cars now. 18.7, Cool Duboy in 7th place. Just on his own after his issues with tyres as well. Paleshi in 8th. 9th is Tiny Terror. Tiny Terror now using his overtake pretty much constantly, it seems. Paleshi has barely any left. He does have a little bit because he's got a red light. If he didn't have any, that light would be out. So he has got a little bit. Tiny Terror then. Go on board with the Alpine driver in the middle of the sector, but there are other battles going on than just 2 Alpines fighting. Here is Matt Psycho. And there is Wolfbane. Matt Psycho leading this race. There he is. You can see behind him is his rival for this championship, Wolfbane. And the rival for this win as well. Matt Psycho is the champion. Doesn't use the number 1, he used the number 16, Leighton House number, and also the Renault of Renianu. So number 16, always strong number for Matt Psycho. It's got Wolfbane in 2nd. Daz is fighting with Intulu though. This is a great little scrap. Let's get on board with the Ferrari driver. Oh, we see Daz running wide. And that gives Intulu the chance. What a nice camera view that is. Going up the hill. We have Intulu up the inside. Very good, says Matt Psycho. I've got encyclopedic knowledge of all things. Daz is using all of the circuit Into in fourth. Fifth place is Bunnies. I know Matt Psycho normally tests me with pictures, or used to test me with pictures of drivers before I was born. I wouldn't be far off with the year, really. Maybe be a year out. There he's Jam. Oh, that sounds awful. We won't use that. Oh, there goes YOLO. Matt Psycho, though, leads this race. Oh, he's pulled out. He's pulled out a huge gap of 120.4. What has happened to Wolfbane? Wolfbane has dropped off massively. Into the final lap goes Matt Psycho. And he has got a 5-second lead all of a sudden. Wolfbane has made a mistake on lap 40, a 120.4. We did not see it, unfortunately. But he has been off, I suspect. Or pushed too hard. Matt Psycho using all the overtake now. He's like, oh, it's a 5-second lead. I do not care. I need all of it. Wolfbane may be pushing too hard towards the end. Daz has got Intulu all over the back of him. Was a tragedy, says Wolfbane. Intulu, though, in third. He's fighting. Daz knows it. Daz wouldn't know the issue with the tyres either. Bunny's in fifth. Jam in sixth. There's Matt Psycho in first place. Me pushing too hard? Never, says Wolfbane. Well, Wolfbane did gain a reputation in the touring cars. He lost some victories on that final lap in touring cars. Has he lost the victory here, and will it cost him in the final round going to Suzuka, because Matt Psycho comes through the final corner and wins a magic race here at Interlagos, round 9 of season 4. Wolfbane in second place for Ferrari. For Ferrari? Oh, Daz has lost out to Intulu. Intulu in the Ferrari in third place, and Daz has lost out on the last corner. Intulu celebrates. Daz is in fourth. Fifth place is Bunnies on his own. Sixth place is Jam. And seventh place, Cool Boy. Not the best race for Cool Boy in the Mercedes. Eighth place is Paleshi. And there is Cinemod going to cross the line. So, here is your result from round number 9 of Formula X here at Interlagos. The winner was Matt Psycho for McLaren. In second place is Wolfbane for Aston Martin. In third place, Intulu, but unfortunately there will be penalties because of those racing soft tyres being used. Daz is in fourth place for Red Bull. Fifth place is Bunnies for Sauber. Sixth is Jam for Mercedes. Seventh is Cool Boy for Mercedes. Eighth for Alpine is Paleshi. Ninth is Tiny Terror for Alpine. 10th is Cinemod for Sauber. 11th is Alpha Capri, again super soft tyres being used by him. Noxy 12th for Williams. 13th is YOLO, and 14th is Rob on drums. Unfortunately, Yokas retired, and the fastest lap was set by SNL Wolfbane with a 1:16.743. So let's have a look what that does for things as the result stands right now. So there will be updates, but in first place, and we have a brand new championship leader, it's SNL Wolfbane. He has 146 points. In second place is Illusion with 145 points. In third place is Matt Psycho with 139 points. So the top three are covered by 7 points. 7 points going into the final race. In fourth place is Cool Boy with 123 points. Intulu is in 5th place with 118 points. 6th place is SNL Daz with 97 points. Bunnies has 93 points. In 8th place is Paleshi with 87 points. In 9th place is Jam with 84 points. And in 10th place is Tiny Terror with 80 points. 11th Junior 67, Cinemod 53, SNL Jim 33 points, Rob Jones 33, Noxy 33, YOLO 28 points, Yorkas 15, PO 13, Flashman 6, Alpha Capri 6, Gazman 3 points, and Mika has got 1 point. And the team championships, okay, is Ferrari 248 points, Mercedes second with 189 points. And that means Ferrari have got the team's championship, so Gazman can pop a cork out of that champagne bottle. He's got the team championship, but he wants both. He really does want both. In 3rd place, Aston Martin, 177 points, 172 points for McLaren in 4th, so that's tight as well. So not only is it a battle for the championship, but also a battle for 3rd, possibly 2nd in the championship too. 5th place is Alpine with 164 points. Sauber have 145 points. Williams 119, and Red Bull have 111. So Matt Psycho says he's never given up yet, and Wolfbane says he's going to have to do better than that to beat me, Matt. And Mama Sykes, well done, son. Great racing, great commentary. Well done, guys. It is great. It is always great doing these commentaries. It's the final one for this season, at least. Season 4. Next week it's Suzuka, and we have a championship battle. Nowhere better to go than Suzuka. A final showdown. Definitely between Matt Psycho and SNL Wolfbane. Who will win? There's only one way to find out. Let's join us next week here in the Sunday Night League. Good night.